I know it sounds like I'm airing dirty laundry at the moment, but I really am not. I'm basically sharing just stories about life, the real thing. This is what the eighth initiative is all about. It's about talking about real stuff, talking about real things, not trying to sugarcoat anything, because what's the point of sugarcoating stuff? Yeah, you're trying to protect the person. Okay, good. But it also means that you're kind of enabling them. And they're not going to do the work. They're not going to make their lives better if they don't see the errors in their ways, you know? But yeah, you gotta you gotta you gotta you gotta want to change. And you but first of all, before let's rewind, okay? If you don't realize that you have stuff about yourself that you need to change, if you don't have that realization, then how are you gonna apply the change, right? So yeah, I've seen people, I know people who you know whom I know need help. They need the guidance. It's so obvious, but they just refuse to see it. They refuse to acknowledge it, and it hurts to see because their actions are causing other people pain, you know? And it's painful. It's painful to see because you can't do anything about it. Even if you want to, you can't, because the other party does not want to acknowledge, doesn't want to acknowledge that he or she has got a problem, and it's affecting the people around them. It's really, really sad. Yeah. Have grace. Practice grace. Allow grace into your life, and sooner or later things will start changing, you know? Try not to put so much pressure on yourself. Because sometimes it'll bite you back in the butt. In the buttocks. I've come to a realization where, you know, I'm at that phase in my life where I am so ultra aware of everything that's happening around me, and it's kind of messing me up a little. Like in my previous video, you know, I'm just so hyper aware of what's going on around me, with myself, with the people I connect with, and having to navigate through all of that while trying to not lose yourself in the process. It's tough. Just try to balance everything out, you know? So if you have the opportunity to change and improve your life and to elevate yourself, please do it. If you have the opportunity to, if you have the chance, please do it. If you feel like you have something, like if you feel like there's something wrong with you, like don't hesitate to ask for help. Because you just never know, you know? It's always good to just check, just in case. Yeah. Generational trauma, generational differences. It's a thing. It's a real thing. And it's happening. It's happening to everyone. That's why sometimes, you know, it's like you just don't get along with your parents or your auntie and uncles, because yeah, they just come from a different generation. Unfortunately, I didn't get to spend enough time with my grandparents. Grandpa, okay, so my grandpa from my dad's side passed away like years before I was born. Passed away in 1983. I was born in 1990, so obviously I didn't get to meet him. And then my grandfather from my mom's side passed away when I was 7. And then not long after, a couple of months after, my grandmother from my dad's side passed away. So I didn't really get to spend a lot of time with the both of them either. Even though I was already 7 at the time. I have memories of them. The most significant one is with the significant one with my grandfather, my mom's dad, Puyaki. Was that we were in Biri, Sarawak. I grew up in Biri. And we had, so our house was a corner lot. So we've got a nice big garden on the side. And my grandpa would sometimes dry some rice, some paddy on the outside, and he'll put a net over to protect it from birds and insects, yada yada. And then one day I woke up from my nap, and then I went outside, and then I saw a bird got stuck underneath the what was it? Underneath the cover. And I told my grandfather, and then he went out and he took the bird, he tied a little string around its one of its leg, and he gave it to me. It's like instead of a balloon, I had a bird. And he was like, here you go, you know, can go play with it. I played with it for a while, then I released it. But it was nice because I had a burnt for like 10 minutes, as a pet. And then the memory I have with my grandma, with Granny, uh, this was in Malacca. She gave me a soft toy. It's got a round, cushiony base, and the top is a teddy bear holding a bouquet of flowers. And it's got a perfume in the middle where you can remove it and dab it in the flowers so it'll smell nice. And I remember her telling me, like, "Come here, girl. This is for you." And she said something else, but I don't remember. I was like 6, 7 years old at the time. And then not long after, like, she passed away. And then it was just and then I only had my Pui. Pui is my mom's mom, and she passed away 4 years ago. Yeah, 2020. She passed away 4 years ago. And I didn't even get to go for her funeral because it was during COVID, and I was here in KL and she was in Miri. Actually, she was in our village, which is like a drive away from Miri. She passed away and I couldn't even attend her funeral. But I did see her a few. Wait, when was that? When did I see her? I think I saw her the year before, yeah. And was it the year before? No. So my Pui passed away in October. Oh, I saw her in February for my cousin's wedding, and she didn't even remember me because she had dementia, and she was talking about me and my brother to me. She didn't even realize that she was talking to Laong. My name is Laong in Kenya. Kenya is one of the tribes in Sarawak, one of the native tribes in Sarawak, and Laong is my Kenya name. Excuse me. And she was talking about Laong to me. She didn't even recognize me, but it's okay, like I understand. Like, she had dementia. But it was just sad. Oh, I went off course with this conversation a little too far. I forgot where I was going now. Anyway, yeah. I didn't really get to see how my grandma treated my mom, or my grandpa, how he treated my parents, my mom, my dad. I mean, everyone, my grandparents. I didn't get the chance to like talk to them and understand where they came from. It is the same with my parents. I don't really know much about my parents. Yes, they're still around, but we hardly talk. Sometimes I feel like I don't know how to talk to my parents. As much as I want to, but part of me feels like they're not they've not really done the work on themselves, because I realize that sometimes I trigger them, not the other way around anymore. They do still trigger me, but not as much as they used to. But I've come to realize now that I trigger them. So the tables have turned. And if ever the day comes where I have my own child, I don't want them to I don't want them to have the kind of life that I did. And I don't want them to have the kind of relationship that I used to have with my parents. We're learning, my parents and I, we're getting there. But it's a process. I just don't want my future generation to have to go through the process that I had to go through. Because with the amount of time that I spent trying to figure all this shit out, they can spend that time to just be a kid, have fun, have a great experience, discover life, discover the things you love, the things you don't like, the things you hate, the things you adore, and just explore and have an adventure and just live a very full life. That's what I want them to have. And I'll do whatever it takes to make sure it happens. Within reason, of course. I'm not going to break any rules. Like serious rules, at least. Like, I'm not going to do anything that's going to involve the cops. Okay? But you know what I mean. Slowly but surely, right? We will all get there. Well, with that said, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you for standing by me with my blocked nose and all. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you want to. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much, guys, again, for being here. I'm truly grateful and appreciative of everything. See you on the next one. I love you. Bye.